Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
For him to even be able to get in that plane to do that is amazing.
A protector of our freedom lives a dream come true. This Winnebago County World War II veteran gets a bird's eye view of the country he served. We take you on his ride of a lifetime. Nearly 500,000 Illinois residents will lose pandemic-era federal unemployment benefits this Labor Day. Economy experts' prediction jobs would be back on track by now goes off the rails. School might be out today, but that didn't stop some Rockford students from putting in work. Yes Club members use Labor Day to look toward the future. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy has the night off. A World War II veteran is the passenger of a very special flight. Harlow Rossborough served as a demolition specialist in Japan. Rachel Perry was there as his plane took off. Rachel, his family tells you this is a dream come true.
Eric, that's right. Harlow is 94 years old, and today's flight to honor him is a big deal for Harlow, with his family and friends cheering him on.
Well, I haven't been in an airplane in years and years, so it'll be a real neat experience for me.
And he's off. World War II veteran Harlow Rossborough takes flight, riding in a 1943 Boeing Stearman.
Oh, it's a two-winger? Yeah, I know what it is now, yeah.
Rossborough served in Japan for 1 year as a U.S. Army demolition specialist near the tail end of the war. He says he still remembers the feeling of coming home.
It was wonderful.
His daughter, Candy Wallstrom, says the dream flight really is a dream for them.
It's just so honoring. You know, it's just, I'm sorry, to just, remember our World War II vets and all of our veterans, and they keep our country free.
She says he never saw this coming.
Definitely. Oh, this was something that he didn't think would ever probably happen. And when it did happen, it was like, this is amazing. I mean, at 94 years old, he just turned 94, that this is amazing. That he could actually physically do it.
Dreamflight's pilot, Andrew Lomar, says they are focusing on World War II vets this year.
The whole experience is rewarding. Getting to meet our veterans, hearing their stories is probably the most rewarding part.
Now, Wallstrom is thankful they could make this happen for her dad.
I was just stunned, you just stood there in awe because it was so exciting just to see it, to actually have it happen.
Dreamflights has given nearly 5,000 rides to veterans. Those are all made possible through donations. A link to that can be found on mystateline.com. Eric?
Thanks, Rachel. Nearly 500,000 Illinois residents are among the 7 million Americans who will lose pandemic-related federal unemployment benefits today. Some economists predicted this might spur recovery in the job market, but recent research from Harvard and 3 other universities paints a different picture. In the 19 states which ended benefits in June, only 1 of 8 people who lost benefits was able to find a job. The Illinois Chamber of Commerce says business owners are still holding out hope. The latest jobs report showed what many experts consider underwhelming results. The economy added just 235,000 jobs in August. That's significantly lower than the big rebounds from June and July, but the August unemployment rate was the lowest since before the pandemic. A national per-mile driving fee may soon be tested as an option to replace the gas tax. The infrastructure plan in Congress includes a provision that would test changing that tax. Right now, we pay the federal gas tax at the pump, but with an increase in hybrid and electric vehicles, a per-mile fee would have drivers who don't buy gas also paying. There are privacy concerns in tracking each vehicle's mileage. Analysts say the per-mile fee is likely at least a decade away from being put in place. Illinois and Chicago community leaders celebrate the grand opening of an historic monument. Mayor Lori Lightfoot helped cut the ribbon on the new Pullman National Monument Visitors Center. It's located on the city's south side. The site marks where Pullman passenger railroad cars were built in the 1800s. The factory and its workers played a key role in the labor rights and civil rights movements.
We brought Amtrak to take us across the country with our traveling exhibit, exposing this history of black labor across the country. And because of us, yes, because of us, There's a lot more people who know the history of A. Philip Randolph and the Pullman Porters, I am proud to say.
Former President Barack Obama designated the Pullman factory a national monument in 2015. Today is Labor Day. Several holiday traditions in the state line didn't go on as planned this year because of a surge in COVID numbers. The annual parade was canceled last week along with the Labor Day picnic at Davis Park. But the car show did go on. More than 150 classic cars pulled into Davis Park this morning. The Rockford area car shows and cruises puts this on every year and decided to push through with the outdoor event this year as well. Organizers say it was a great day and they had a good turnout with people coming from across the Midwest to check out the cars, despite there being no parade for it.
Being a union member for 38 years and actually not being on match march in a parade or drive your car in a parade and still be having the event and all these people turn out, it's a great feeling.
Not only is the car show a good way to check out some cool cars, it's also a fundraiser for United Way of Rock River Valley. Coming up at 6, hear from one of the owners about why he made the trip to Rockford. Rockford students and teachers had the day off from class in honor of Labor Day. Yes Club members used the free time to host a Schools Out meeting. With the school year just starting, the group talked about academic excellence, study habits, and career choices. Students also discussed work ethic, respect, responsibility, and unity in diversity. The president of the Yes Club says spending time with friends and planning for their futures is a great way to celebrate the holiday.
The Yes Club is kind of like a safe place for everyone, and it's like a nice community that anyone from like any kind of background can really join in on the cause and be part of a project that's for the greater good.
The Yes Club also rehearsed some songs this afternoon. The group's music is inspired by the issues we face today and ways to solve them. The pandemic crushed Illinois tourism in 2020, but things have picked up around the state this summer, especially at outdoor destinations. Chicago's Navy Pier was one of the big tourism winners. It attracted more than 1 million visitors in July alone. Business owners there say people felt safe because there's plenty of room to spread out with wind coming off the lake. And they say it hasn't been a banner year, but it hasn't been bad either. Late night crowds at restaurants have been smaller, but weddings and other planned group events were way up. The Taliban takes over the last Afghan province, holding out against the militants. That ends the group's takeover of the country. Trey Yingst shows us how U.S. officials are scrambling to get Americans out of Afghanistan.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken landing here in Qatar on Monday to seek support from America's Mideast allies as the administration scrambles to get Americans out of Afghanistan. His visit comes amid a potential crisis in the northern city of Mazar-e-Sharif, where several planes reportedly with American citizens and their allies are being stopped by the Taliban from leaving. It's still not clear exactly who is on those planes and why they're unable to leave. But in the capital of Kabul, the Taliban have been beefing up security at the airport as domestic flights resume.
We are deputized here to maintain peace at the airport in order to prevent entry of anything that could pose a danger inside the airport.
Also on Monday, hopes for a prolonged resistance came to an end as the Taliban captured Panjshir, the last province not under their control. Some critics say more could have been done to help the rebels make a stand against the militants.
They were our allies when we first came into the country from the north. The Northern Alliance was holed up there, and this is complete, utter abandonment of our allies within Afghanistan.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is also visiting Qatar today, hoping to begin a recalibration of America's involvement in Afghanistan, with a new focus on counterterrorism, not defeating the Taliban.
We're going to have to maintain very, very intense levels of indicators and warnings and observation.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
So another nice, refreshing start this morning with our temperatures in the low to mid 50s. 53 degrees this morning in Rockford, 51 in Rochelle, and 52 in Freeport. We've warmed nicely this afternoon, climbing into the low 80s. Currently sitting at 84 in Rockford, 83 in Rochelle, and 82 our temperature in Freeport. 84 is also the same number. Our weather watcher Bob here on the southeast end of Rockford's checking in. Dew point temperature sits at 46, so it feels very, very comfortable comfortable out there. And that dry air, part of the reason why we were to see a 30+ degree temperature climb from where we started out at this morning to where we ended up at this afternoon. Very similar to what we had yesterday. And that's because an air mass that is dry warms up more efficiently than an air mass that has moisture in it, because all of these air molecules and your water molecules that even when it's dry, you still have water molecules surrounding you. There's just not as much. They're able to move around more freely. So they get really, really energized, and that allows that temperature to warm up quickly. Now, when you have more moisture in the atmosphere, those water molecules and air molecules aren't able to rise as efficiently. So what happens then, you actually start to see a little bit more of a slowing trend. So that's why when there's more moisture in the air, you don't get those big temperature swings like what you have when you've got dry air throughout the day. Tomorrow we will see a temperature climb, but that's in part because we will have a wind that really picks up for the afternoon. Beautiful evening ahead. A live look with the Marcel SkyTrack camera now out at the Park Hills Golf Course in Freeport. Lots of clear skies. Stay with us this evening, and that's because we've got high pressure centered overhead. But we turn our attention well to the northwest with our next system that's working into the high plains. That is a very strong low pressure system that'll stay focused in Canada, but it brings a cold front through during the day tomorrow. So let's time this out over the next 46 hours as we go through the night, because one, we're dry, our winds are calm, and three, I should say, we've got a clear sky. Temperatures will drop as the sun sets. But after midnight, towards tomorrow morning, our wind starts to pick up from the southwest. So tomorrow we will actually see temperatures climb a little. So most of us will be starting off in the 60s tomorrow morning. That wind picks up from the southwest. We see those numbers climb into the mid and upper 80s once we get towards 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, but that's when that cold front comes in. Cold front comes through. As it does, the chance for showers and thunderstorms will be there, but focused, I think, a little more for areas like from DeKalb down to Rochelle and then down towards Sterling as that front comes through. So areas to the northwest, isolated thunderstorm. That includes us in Rockford, Belvedere, Freeport during the early afternoon, but I think the greater focus for that going to stay a little more to the east and southeast. Winds will then shift around to the northwest. We dry things out for tomorrow night. After a little taste of summer tomorrow afternoon, we're back into kind of a fall pattern for Wednesday, Thursday. Temperatures in the upper 70s for Wednesday afternoon. We are going to see a little bit of cloud cover build up, though, just because we've got a colder pocket of air coming in, so we'll really see those temperatures kind of, I should say the temperatures drop very quickly with height, so it allows some of that cloud cover to build up. With regards to any strong to severe thunderstorms, focus from Michigan towards Chicago, the highest risk, but we could see a strong wind gust or two, especially east and south of Interstate 39 towards the afternoon. Let's talk wind, because that is going to pick up coming from the southwest, gusting as high as 30 to 35 miles per hour tomorrow, and then that wind will shift around to the northwest. Still pretty gusty tomorrow evening, and then we'll see the wind pick back up still from the northwest on Wednesday, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So a couple of windy days coming up, but the airflow will go very nicely through the house. 63 degrees, that's where we'll end up tomorrow morning, but again, temperatures will drop likely into the 50s before climbing a little bit, up to 87 for tomorrow afternoon. It feels a little muggy tomorrow. We're in the 70s here, Eric. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday looks great, back near 90 on Saturday, and that trend could continue even into early next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
Who needs Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Javi Baez when Frank Schwindel, Patrick Wisdom, and Matt Duffy will do? That trio and some other guys, and the Cubs on a 7-game winning streak. Now, sweeping the Pirates is nothing to boast about, but this afternoon the Cubs took down a good Reds team. Ian Happ got the day started right with his 3-run blast in the first inning off Sonny Gray. Happ now has 19 home runs. The Reds battle back. Max Schrock rips a double off Cody Hoyer in the 6th inning. That tied the game at 3. So we go to the 8th, and that man, Frank Sweet Swinging Schwindel, comes up and adds it to his 8-game hitting streak with a single that scored Alfonso Rivas. That turned out to be the winning run. Schwindel's batting average now up to .343 as the Cubs beat the Reds 4-3. And the Bears are 6 days away from taking on the Rams, and they're not done tinkering with our roster. Today they signed free agent receiver Brashad Perryman. He was with the Jets last season. He had 30 receptions for 505 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's also played for the Buccaneers, Browns, and Ravens. He has good speed. In his career, Perriman has averaged 16.5 yards per catch. We won't see this anymore. James Robinson has turned in his jersey number 30 with the Jaguars that he wore last season. Instead, he'll wear number 25 from now on. That's the number he wore at Illinois State and at Rockford Lutheran. Last season, the number 25 belonged to Jaguars cornerback DJ Hayden, but he's no longer with the team. That number 30, though, didn't work out so bad for Robinson. He rushed for more than 1,000 yards with it last season. Well, the honors are rolling in for the NIU Huskies thanks to their upset win at Georgia Tech Saturday night. Linebacker Lance DeVoe has been named the MAC West Defensive Player of the Week. He had 12 tackles in that victory. And punter Matt Ferentz has been named the MAC Special Teams Player of the Week. The Huskies will try to build off that win this Saturday afternoon when they host Wyoming. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, this day was nearly perfect.
I know.
Kind of a nice day for Labor Day to officially end the summer, but summer is not over with us by any means.
Yeah, as you know, years past have kind of showed us we can still get temperatures mid-upper 80s, even 90s once we're in the month of September. So yeah, we've got some summer-like days coming up. Might not see, a big string of 90 degrees or big string of 80s, but it might feel a little bit more like it coming up this next
Your
weekend.
7-day looks more like even mid to late June than as we're wrapping up September. I know we're early in September, but
yeah,
there are quite a few 80s and even a few temperatures close to 90.
Yeah, we've got a couple of those days coming up. Tomorrow could be one of them, but not so much for tonight. It'll be a beautiful night tonight. Skies will stay clear. The first warning interactive radar on mystateline.com. That stays quiet tonight, but could get a little more active tomorrow. Now, our wind shifts around to the southwest. These next couple of days, you might notice a little bit more kind of haze and smoke from the fires out west, so we may see a little bit more of that just as that's pulled in here with the jet stream. 87 for tomorrow, thunderstorms, especially east and southeast of us, and then 70s Wednesday, Thursday, 80s next weekend.
Thanks, Candace, and thank you for spending some of your time with us. Stay safe.